Well, it's one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue shoe.
And country go. All new shows on Spectrum on Air. Visit our website on spectrumonair.com or listen on Mixcloud Live.
Don't forget, you can listen to this radio station on the Get Me Radio platform. Download the Get Me Radio app and listen on your Android or Apple mobile phone, and a whole range of TV apps such as Roku, Fire, Android and Apple TV. You can also listen on Alexa and Google Home devices. Just search for Get Me Radio. Download the apps and listen to this radio station on your favorite devices.
Why not come with me, Tony Ingledown, on a journey in my time tunnel? Broadcast every Monday between 2 and 3 p.m. on Spectrum on Air. I'll be taking a trip down memory lane, playing music from the late 60s through to the 80s. Indulge yourself in some nostalgia and let us go back in time together. That's Tony's Time Tunnel every Monday between 2 and 3 p.m. on Spectrum on Air, the colourful voice of radio. I hope that's a date. Don't be late.
New smart apps with our advanced ways for viewing. XP TV One. You can now view us on Samsung Galaxy Store, Apple App Store, Google Play, Roku, Samsung Smart TV's App Store, and Apple TV, Huawei, Amazon Fire Stick, and App Store. XP TV One. Tomorrow's TV broadcasting today.
You are listening to Spectrum on Air. The colourful voice of radio.
Welcome to Let's Get It On with me, Suzanne Letting. Each week we're going to be listening to brand new releases from artists all over the globe. So now's the time to grab that cup of tea, that cup of coffee, or even a glass of wine as we get lost in some fabulous music.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello and a very warm welcome to your Saturday night with me, Suzanne Letting, here on Let's Get It On. Well, as you know, I'm away sunning myself in lovely Cyprus, so I've created a show for you early. It seems really odd. I can't get my head round it, but there we go, because the 17th is obviously the first show that we've had after we've done the Shamrocks Festival, and I can't tell you anything about it because I won't be here. You'll just have to wait till I get back. So hopefully I've curated a lovely show for you tonight to get lost into, and I will certainly be listening to it while I'm on holiday as well. We're going to kick off tonight with Rising Field. This is a beautiful track called Midnight Breeze. Wasn't that lovely? That was Rising Field there with Midnight Breeze. I'm following that up with a new track from List. This is Ray Tracer, and these two are brilliant ones to set us up, and I tell you what, they're going to be lovely ones for me to listen to in my little beastie as well. That was List there with Ray Tracer. Now I've got a little bit of a treat for you because Matthew Stock, working as an A&R for the labels of Carlos Peron, and he sent me a compilation of tracks that he's been involved with while he's been doing his A&R, and they are up to episode 15, and one of the tracks that he sent to me is none other The Brute. This is Forgotten People. It's been remastered for 2025, and I'm so pleased to have The Brute on the show. I know he's been doing lots of work, so at last we finally got him on, and I will be sharing some of those artists that Matt has sent over to me in the coming weeks. It's a very short week this week because of my holiday, but I will get round to all of them. But for now, enjoy The Brute with Forgotten People. That was great to have that on the show. At last, The Brute with Forgotten People there. Now then, we're going to move on to 6 Mix 6. This is from the album Digital Heartbeat, and this is Watch Her.
while she's shuffling with flair, picking up some apples while doing the air chair. The cashier's laughing, joining in. At the bus stop, she's busting a move. People stop and stare as she finds her groove. When the bus arrives, she's doing the twist.
Mix 6 there from the album Digital Heartbeat, and that was Watch Her. Now I've just had some lovely news that the collaboration I did with RC&T, our track Beyond the Point, has gone on to this artist's April Picks playlist, and that's the beauty of Spotify. I know we all hate it because we don't earn an awful lot of money, but what happens is we get shared and we get onto playlists, whether it be your car playlist, ones that you want to play in the car, or whether it's just another artist. How wonderful is that to have that support? You can't put a price on that. It's so lovely to be involved with these musicians and the wonderful work that they create. I am learning lots, and I appreciate all the hard work that they put into the tracks that you're listening tonight on this show. So I'm going to follow up Mix 6 with Arcade Beach. This is Silver Lining Street, and that's what I feel I am on, you know. I have definitely got a silver lining working with all these artists because I learned so much from them. Wasn't that lovely? That was Arcade Beach there with Silver Lining Street. Now then, the next track is Christopher Anton. This is Heartbeat 1. This is the Reactive Files, and this is from the Heartbeat 1, the Reactive Files album. This is the Tachycardia radio edit. Now, I am bradycardia. For those of you who don't know what the difference is, bradycardia is a really slow heartbeat, so my blood pressure is really, really low. When you get tachycardia, it means I think your blood pressure is the other way. So I think this is going to send your blood pressure pulsing.
Heartbeat. 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 Heartbeat.
When the city sleeps
Christopher Anton there with Heartbeat 1. I'm going to follow that up with Fons Tramontano and Khalida J. What a brilliant duo these two are. This is Hollywood. Now, I went to Hollywood, you know. I went to a poetry symposium because I had written some poetry which was published, and I went into a competition. We got there by air miles. It was hilarious, honestly. If you've ever been to Hollywood, you know how kind of plastic it all is, really. But anyway, Bo Derek was doing the competition comparing, and we had the Drifters there as well. We had a great night meeting lots of different people. Anyway, I'm digressing, but this is Hollywood by Fons Tramontano and Khalida J. Fons Tramontano there and Khalida J with Hollywood. Now then, Retro Reverb Records do submit music to us, and of course they do have the Bandcamp Hour with Cole, but this is a track submitted to us and it's lovely. This is Tenodi Boris featuring Cosmos Kiss. This is Sand Dune, and the vocals in this are simply beautiful. So just stop what you're doing and immerse yourself into this track. If you've got your cup of tea, your cup of coffee, your glass of wine or your pint of beer, just sip in these vocals because they are beautiful.
Crimson sun, desert haze, wind whispers through the doom, lost in time, forgotten day, seeking feet. Mirage shimmers bright. A lonely road, bittersweet. Into the fading light. Burning sand, endless sky. Footsteps fade behind. A distant toe, a silent cry. Rebirth I will find. Shifting sands beneath my feet. Mirage shimmers bright. A lonely road, bittersweet. Into the fading light. Burning sand, endless sky. Footsteps fade behind. A distant toe, a silent cry. Rebirth I will find. Shifting sands beneath my feet. Mirage shimmers bright. A lonely road, bittersweet. Into the fading light. Burning sand, endless sky. Footsteps fade behind. A distant toe, a silent cry. Rebirth I will find. Rebirth I will find. Rebirth I will
That was Tenodi Boris with Cosmos Kiss with Sand Dune. Wasn't that a beautifully vocalised track? I really enjoyed that, and I'm going to enjoy listening to that again. Now then, Julian Marsh is off over to Canada and he's having a little bit of a break. But before he left this with me. This is a little bit of fun and he thinks it would be a great track for summer, and I tend to agree. He's done a remix, so he's grabbed hold of something, put them together, and he's given it a little bit of a revamp. This is two great female artists, Whitney Houston and the wonderful Natalie Cole, singing Say a Little Prayer together as a duet. And what Julian's done is he's grabbed it and he's revamped it ready for a very fun track for summer. And I think you'll agree, it's actually quite a nice tongue-in-cheek track for us to start off set 2 with.
She's already had 7 #1 singles. I can only be talking about one person. Please welcome the Grammy Award-winning superstar, my baby sister, Miss Whitney Houston. Girlfriend! Hey, Mom! How you doing? Listen, y'all, we're going to do a little something different this evening. We're going to sing a song that neither one of us has ever done before, an old Aretha Franklin classic. Okay? Okay. You ready? I'm ready. You clap them all. Come on. Clap your fingers, clap your thighs. Forever and ever, you stay in my heart and heart.
just hear Julian saying, well, you know, people will either love it or they'll hate it. But, you know, it's just a fun thing. There's so much going on in the world at the moment. Why not have a little bit of fun? Well, that was fun, Julian, and thank you for sharing that little gem with me before you went off on your hollybobs. Right, I've got a new artist for you now. This is Hoffman Cruz. This is a rather beautiful track called Drive, and this is from the album When the Moon Rises. Quite an atmospheric track, that from Hoffman Cruz. That is from the album When the Moon Rises, and that was Drive. Hoffman Cruz began as a project between two friends from Western Siberia, Arthur and Philip. Once rooted in rock and metal, their paths shifted in 2018 when a game jam introduced them to the raw power of synthesizers and drum machines. This project is a gateway, a time machine where VHS nightmares come alive, distorted guitar riffs cut through the silence, and ghosts of the analog synth era drift through the static. Well, that's a brand new album that is out on the 9th of May. So how am I going to follow that up for you? Well, none other than Democraty. This is an alternative to history. Democraty there with An Alternative to History. And I'm going to follow that up with another track from The Memory of Snow. I'm introducing you to their album Obsidian Dust. This is a track called Betrayed.
Catastrophes and ordinary suffering, they always come from the beloved ones. Friends and family, they know their way, or to the frail weaknesses of your heart. There's nothing noble about being fragile. There's nothing great about the challenges of life.
The Memory of Snow there from their album Obsidian Dust. That was Betrayed. Now then, are you sitting comfortably? Have you got that cup of tea, that cup of coffee, that glass of wine, or a pint of ale? Because I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. Nature of Wires is coming up next with a new track called Dead to Me. But guess what? This is a brand new track that's been sung by their drummer. Dead to Me is the first song to be written by Nature of Wires drummer Tim Powell Tuck, and it was released on Friday the 9th of May. Tim actually sings on this one, and it turns out that he's very good. Tim is great at shouty vocals too. They had a bit of fun changing the tone of Tim's voice to suit the style he was looking for, but no auto-tune was needed. Tim says, Dead to Me is my first attempt at songwriting. It began with a germ of an idea for a chorus, a few lyrics and a drum pattern in my head, and those ideas stayed in my head for a long time, years in fact, until I shared those ideas with Gary from Nature of Wires. They wrote some more lyrics and put the idea together for the verses. Gary then added his Nature of Wires production, and further ideas were shared, and it came together comparatively quickly. Now, Dead to Me is part ghost story and part mourning for lost relationship, but now mean very little or nothing. Thanks to Gary, my rudimentary ideas became a song, and the end result is exactly how I hoped it would sound, and he hopes you like it. I think that Tim sounds very much like a nice version of the Sex Pistols. Just have that in your head while you're listening to this. It's beautiful.
Lovers go home, dead to me. As time ticks on and on, dead to me. Like friends forgotten, dead to me. When you close your eyes for the very last time, you're gone. When you look back for comfort, there is none. It's cold, so cold, the lights are head toward. Your sands of time are beat up, forward. Dead to me, like lovers go home, dead to me. As time ticks on and on, dead to me. Like friends forgotten, dead to me. You left so young nobody could believe. You left too soon and we all grieved. You're right, there's nothing left of you. You're wrong, I'm not alone, there's two. Dead to me, like lovers go home, dead to me. As time ticks on and on, dead to me. Like friends forgotten, dead to me. It's funny how shake-ups in the dark. It's sad how we just grew apart. It's strange and now it seems you're here. It's night and with that comes a fear. Lovers go home, dead to me. As time ticks on and on, dead to me. Like friends forgotten, dead to me. Silent screams and shadows all around. Tears of terror hit the ground. Insomnia, the twisted horrors creep. Poem souls sit out in his sleep. Dead to me, like lovers go home, dead to me. As time ticks on and on, dead to me. Like friends forgotten, dead to me. Dead to me, like lovers go home, dead to me. As time ticks on and on, dead to me. Like friends forgotten, dead to me.
You know, they They say the most important person in the band is the drummer because he's the one that keeps everybody in time. So Tim, well done you. That's a sterling effort if that's your first one. And I hope we hear more from you. I hope Gary lets you out from the back up to the front again in the future. Who knows? A whole new adventure awaits you singing and writing your own songs. Now then, I'm going to follow that up with Sai Avia again featuring Sorrow Stories. This is Heaven Is Not Enough, but this is the Lectru's Needy 7-inch mix. It's just over 5 minutes long. Cool, so you've got plenty of time to enjoy this.
Invisible, I held tightly on with
Avia there featuring Sorry Stories. Heaven is Not Enough. That was the Electro's Needy 7-inch mix from the Still Healing EP. Coming up next is April O'Neil. This is Midnight Escapades. Now, I know what April's done. She's actually been mixing this track, and she's been mixing it with an idea in her head as she's been going along, and she's been making it flow. Very good attempt, actually, April, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from you. Keep going. I know the direction you're going in, and you're going in the right one, I think. I recognise some of the elements that April has used in that track. And, you know, sometimes when you are mixing a track, you've got all these different elements to put in place, but then bringing it all together so that it sounds like one long piece is not easy to do. It takes quite a lot of time to learn that craft, and it takes quite a lot of time to really tune into your feelings, your emotions, and what you want your track to feel like. But I think April's done that with that track. I really enjoyed listening to that. As I say, there were some elements in there that I recognise, so I know what she's doing with that track, and I think it is great. April, we will be right behind you. Keep it coming, young lady. Right, we're going to follow that up with a track from Carthage, another new artists for you to get to know, like and love. This is Unattainable. I'll tell you a little bit about them when we come back on air, because they are going to set us up really nicely for set 3, which, as you know, is the Palette Changers, coming shortly here on Let's Get It On.
You're listening to Spectrum On Air, the colourful voice of radio. Broadcasting live on SpectrumOnAir.com, Get Me Radio and Mixcloud Live. And never fear, if you've missed your favourite programme, just find our Listen Again service on Mixcloud.com. Spectrum On Air, putting the colour back into radio.
Thank you, the wonderful Mr. Steve Blacknell there. Now, this is set 3, and the last track in set 2 was Carthage with Unattainable. Very different track and another artist for you to get to know, like and love. Now then, we've got something special coming up to set us off in set 3. Paul Griggs, who was the other half of Guys and Dolls, has got a beautiful track out to celebrate International Nurses Day, which was on the 12th of May, and it was also Florence Nightingale's birthday. This is called Nurse, Nurse, and I think you'll agree this is a lovely one to set the tone for set 3.
Don't feel too well, there's something wrong with me. But there is nothing that a doctor can do. I'm the one that needs some sympathy. Won't you come to my bedside? Help me find a remedy for this aching pain I feel inside my heart when we're apart. Help me please, won't you help me? Take my temperature, it's high above, and I think I feel my pulse, it's racing. Give me love. You're the only cure for me. There's only one thing left to say. I need you till my dying day, and I won't get well till you come and tend to me now. Tell them not to leave me be. Come and ask me privately. All that I need is you.
Paul Griggs there with a track to celebrate International Nurses Day, Nurse, Nurse. Wasn't that lovely? Now, following that, Shirley Callaghan is back with us. This is a beautiful track called Flower in the Winter.
You're my flower in the winter, my color in the dark, with your love so unexpected, erasing all my scars. You came through out of isolation, brought me home right to my streets. They said I wasn't ready, that I'd never love again. I had given up already till you showed me that I can. You came through when they said you never would. You got me through. I couldn't rely on my own blood, and all I needed was a little love from you. All I needed was to be enough for you. I thought that life would haunt me till you came to rescue me. When all I needed was a little love from you. You're my flower in the winter, my color in the dark.
Flower in the Winter there by the lovely Shirley Callaghan. Now then, Amanda Hopewell is coming up next with What the Wise Man Once Said. Now, wisdom is a funny thing, isn't it? Because we can always be wise after the event. But how do you get wise? Where does the wisdom come from? It comes from a learning, doesn't it? It's a very deep-rooted sense of right or wrong. But what gives you the wisdom? Is it when you've been proved right or when you've been proved wrong? We don't know. That's a bit of a conundrum that was in my head while I was introducing this track. So let's listen to what Amanda Hopewell has got to say about what the wise man once said.
Don't let the flowers grow under your feet. Let them grow beside you. Let them open and breathe. And if you feel the wind wrapping around you, when you're surrounded, just allow yourself to be. Plant your seeds, let them grow while you are sleeping. Grow your mind, let it drift while you are dreaming. Water the well instead of you just weeping. And people are blind when they really should believe what the wise man once said. When you're feeling old and done, and people talk without a voice, afraid of what they might become. Time passes by, you're older than you were. The people, they become afraid of living. Plant your seeds, let them grow while you are sleeping. Grow your mind, let it drift while you are dreaming. Water the well instead of you just weeping. The people are blind when they really should believe. Plant your seeds, let them grow while you are sleeping.
let it drift while you are dreaming. Water the well instead of you just weeping. And people are blind when they really should believe what the wise man once said.
There you go, that was Amanda Hopewell with What the Wise Man Once Said. Now, the next artist I'm going to introduce you to is no longer an artist because as things happen in life, things change. This is the Bourgeois Brothers, and this is Mav from Princess Syndrome with his brother Cole. Now, they enjoyed doing 2 albums together, and this is the only track on that album where Mav is actually doing the vocals. Normally, Cole would do the vocals, and this was a project that they thoroughly enjoyed doing together, but now Mav has branched out and is now doing the Princess Syndrome, mainly because his brother had a studio in Vancouver and they were living miles apart. It became impossible for them to continue. And what Mav wants to do now is explore his more industrial music side, and this track reminded him of what they used to create and the direction that he probably wants to go in the future. So this is the only release that has his voice as a solo artist, and it's a little story of how 2 people met over coffee. They had dreams, they tried to follow them, and then it all ends in disaster. And it's kind of a post-punk kind of industrial kind of, I love the little thing at the beginning of this, and you'll see what I mean when you listen to this. And meanwhile, while you're digesting this, I think I'm going to go and get myself a cup of tea.
what it seems. With life's not what it seems. It happened over coffee. It happened over coffee. It happened over coffee.
That was the Bourgeois Brothers, and that was their track Over Coffee from the very last album that the brothers did together, which was called Definitive Narrative, and you can find that on Spotify, and I'm sure you can find them on Facebook too. I just have, so you will be able to find them. Now then, I've got a new artist for you. This has been submitted to us, and it's an absolutely beautiful track. Every now and again I will play you some gospel music because I love gospel music. I love the energy that these tracks give us. And Gifty, and I'm hoping I'm saying this right, Gifty Overa Ogini, I hope I've said that right now. Gifty, if I have said that wrong, please do reach out to me and do tell me how I should be pronouncing your name. This is her track, Let It Rain. Now, I'm looking at her on Facebook and she hasn't got many followers, and she hasn't got many followers on Spotify, and I think we can change that because I think you're going to enjoy this track. So let me say it again. This is Gifty Overe Ogini with Let It Rain.
Let it rain. I can see at a distance a handful of clouds. It's a sign of abundance, of blessings to come. I see angels dispatched with answers to prayer. Blessing is coming down. We are the children of God. We shout, let it rain. We are the chosen one. We cry, let it rain. 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 We are your children, oh God. Let it rain, oh God. Your anointing, your power. Let it rain. We are your children, oh God. I can see at a distance a handful of clouds. It's a
Wasn't that lovely? That was Gifty Overi Ogini. Now, I hope I've said that right, with Let It Rain. Coming up next is a brand new track from Melissa Jane Carroll. This is Bygones.
I'm the kind of talk it out when I'm down, but then I feel regret that people found me too negative and hard to take. Should I just be fake? Maybe I'll be fake. I tend to spill emotions all around. One day I could be lost, but when I'm found, I'll feel euphoric, filled with hope and plans, until I fall again. Does anybody feel the way that I feel? Sometimes it's like a dream and nothing's real. Does anybody care to sit with me? I need some company. Does anybody stay awake at night, reliving conversations and all fight, thinking maybe you should make things right, only to regret? Why is it always me overthinking when there's always two in relationships? Does nobody else feel sentimental of the time that we have shared? Does no one have a heart, or am I too deep, too sensitive and far too much upkeep? Changing feels like changing my heartbeat. It must be worth a try. Does anybody feel the way that I feel? Sometimes it's like a dream and nothing's real. Does anybody care to sit with me? I need some company. Does anybody stay awake at night, reliving conversations and all night, thinking maybe you should make things right, only to regret? I'm so tired of feeling the heat from all my years. I'm trying to change how I'm wired. It feels impossible. It takes so long to let them bygones be bygones. I can't help my heart from holding on. I know I should let it go. Does anybody feel the way that I feel? Sometimes it's like a dream and nothing's true. Does anybody want to stay with me? I need some company. Does anybody stay awake at night, reliving conversations and all night, thinking maybe you should make things right, only to regret? I'm so tired of feeling the heat from all my years. I'm trying to change how I'm wired. It feels impossible. It takes so long to let them bygones be bygones. I can't help my heart from holding on. I know I should let it go.
Melissa Jane Carroll there with Bygones. Now, I just want to remind you before we start closing the show is that on the 24th of May, you have got a show from me while I'm away on holiday. This is the extended long play tracks. I've selected quite a few that have been sent in to me that have been over 5 minutes long. So it's going to be a very nice actual 2 hours for you, because they are long tracks for you to completely get yourself lost into. So make a note in the diary. 24th of May is the long play show on Let's Get It On. Now then, the last one for set 3. I'm so pleased that I managed to squeeze this in, hot off the press. Ivan Ansky the Great with Inferno.
Happy nation, no more simulation. I'm back on the street.
I'm your lover in the night. I'm your teacher, I'm your light. If you wanna stay with me, I should give you eternity. Hey, honey, I'm a little thirsty.
was Ivanovsky the Great with Inferno. Now then, a new artist for you, and I really like this. I am so pleased this got submitted. Now this is an artist called Hat or Belt, and who is Hat or Belt? Hat or Belt is what London-based songwriter, music maker Keith calls himself when wearing his music hat. Hat or Belt's shtick is indie synthcratic pop songs. A bit indie, a bit of synth pop, a bit idiosyncratic, even a bit long in the tooth, yet always catchy and reflective, with a dash of melancholy. The Hat or Belt's blend mixes drums, 5-string bass, mandolin, guitars, synths, samples and backing vocals, all garnished with reflective lyrics, spoken, sung with an English accent. Well, I think you're going to enjoy this. So this is Everything's Changing from Hat or Belt.
Everything's changing. Everything I thought was good seems bad. Everyone's leaving on a different road. Every day closes in on a dream I had. Everyone's falling. Even when they fly, they come back down. Everything's swirling. Nothing left to hold. Every day losing sight of a life I found. Every year I turn my back on something I've been told. Hey, I don't always feel the sun as I make my way along the road that seems so long. Hey, if I put on different clothes to make everything look good outside, would I feel so good inside? Everything's changing. Every little plan has fallen down. Every intention in a different place. Every night I wake up. Where did I go wrong? Every joy I held on to has vanished into space. Hey, I do wish you